The Schutzstaffel, more commonly known as the SS, was a major paramilitary organization in Nazi Germany. Originally established as Hitler's personal bodyguards, the SS rapidly expanded into one of the most powerful and feared factions within the Third Reich, responsible for enforcing the regime's ideological and racial policies, overseeing concentration camps, and committing countless war crimes. But who are the faces behind this organization? Today we dive into the dark and twisted lives of the men who led one of the most notorious and brutal units of the Nazi regime. Ernst Kaltenbrunner. Ernst Kaltenbrunner was a prominent Austrian SS official who played a significant role in the atrocities of the Holocaust. Born in Austria, Kaltenbrunner initially pursued a career in law before immersing himself in the dark ideology of National Socialism. His rapid ascent through the Nazi Party and SS ranks were marked by ruthless dedication and a shrewd ability to navigate the political landscape. In 1943, he was appointed chief of the Reich Security Main Security Office after the assassination of Reinhard Heydrich. The RSHA, a powerful arm of the Nazi regime, was composed of the Gestapo, the secret state police, and the SD, the security service, and the criminal police. Kaltenbrunner was a fanatical Nazi, and under his administration, the RSHA escalated its brutal campaigns. He played a direct role in managing concentration and extermination camps, facilitating mass deportations and executions. His leadership brought about unimaginable horrors. In the summer of 1943, Kaltenbrunner conducted his second inspection of the Mauthausen-Gusen concentration camp. This visit took a dark turn, as 15 prisoners were selected to demonstrate 3 brutal methods of execution for Kaltenbrunner: gunshot to the neck, hanging, and gassing. After these horrifying acts were carried out, Kaltenbrunner inspected the crematorium and later visited the quarry, leaving a chilling mark on the camp's history. Even as the Third Reich crumbled, Kaltenbrunner's commitment to Nazi ideology remained unwavering. He continued to order executions and attempted to destroy evidence of his crimes. On May 12, 1945, Kaltenbrunner was captured along with his adjutant, Arthur Scheidler, and 2 SS guards in a secluded cabin atop the Todesgebirge Mountains near Altausee, Austria, by a search party from the 80th Infantry Division of the US Third Army, acting on a tip from Johann Brandauer, the assistant mayor of Altausee. The soldiers knew the group was using false identities. After a brief standoff, the 4 men stepped out of the cabin and surrendered without a fight. Kaltenbrunner, trying to evade capture, claimed to be a doctor with a false name, but upon their return to town, they were recognized by Kaltenbrunner's mistress, Countess Gisela von Westarp, and the wife of his adjutant, Iris Scheidler. Their recognition sealed the men's fate, leading to their identification and swift arrest by the US troops. At the Nuremberg trials, Kaltenbrunner was one of the highest-ranking officials to be prosecuted. The trials exposed the full extent of his involvement in war crimes and crimes against humanity. In 1946, he was found guilty on multiple counts and executed. Oskar Dirlewanger. Oskar Dirlewanger stands out as one of the most infamous figures of World War II, notorious for his brutal tactics and leadership within the SS. Born on September 26, 1895 in Würzburg, Germany, his military career kicked off in World War I. But it wasn't just his wartime service that marked his legacy. His post-war life was riddled with criminal activities, including convictions for sexual offenses, overshadowing his earlier military service. Dirlewanger was described in a police report as an unstable and violent fanatic prone to alcoholism, who often erupted into violent outbursts while under the influence of drugs. Despite his dark past, Dirlewanger's ruthless nature caught the attention of the SS, propelling him into the Nazi war machine. In 1940, he was appointed to lead the SS-Sturmbrigade Dirlewanger, later notorious as the Dirlewanger Brigade. This unit, primarily composed of convicted criminals and poachers, initially had the mission of hunting partisans in occupied territories. However, it quickly earned a horrifying reputation for its brutal actions against civilians. Under Dirlewanger's command, the brigade was responsible for numerous massacres, including the infamous suppression of the Warsaw Uprising in 1944, where they displayed extreme cruelty against the Polish resistance and the civilian population. The brigade's operations in Belarus, the Eastern Front, and especially during the Warsaw Uprising, were marked by unrestrained violence, indiscriminate killing, rape, and looting. The Dirlewanger Brigade became a symbol of terror and brutality, often serving as an instrument of fear to subdue resistance during the occupation. Despite his notorious reputation, the end of World War II did not immediately bring Dirlewanger to justice. Captured by French forces, he reportedly died in their custody in June 1945 under suspicious circumstances. The French said he had died of a heart attack, but some accounts suggest he was beaten to death by Polish soldiers under French command, who experienced mistreatment while in custody. It was also rumored that he had escaped and joined the French Foreign Legion. Ultimately, the mystery of his fate remains unsolved, with many believing he most likely met his end in French custody. Otto Skorzeny. Otto Skorzeny's life and actions have made him one of the most notorious commanders of the Waffen-SS, marked by daring operations and a larger-than-life personality. Born in Vienna, Austria, Skorzeny's early years did not hint at the audacious military career he would embark on. While studying to become an engineer at the Technical University of Vienna, he was involved in dueling, earning the scars that would later contribute to his intimidating look. After the 1939 invasion of Poland, Skorzeny, who was working as a civil engineer at the time, volunteered for service in the German Air Force. However, at 1.94 m or 6 foot 4 inches tall and 31 years old, he was deemed too tall and too old for aircrew training. Skorzeny then joined the Waffen-SS, where he received training with Hitler's elite bodyguard regiment, the Leibstandarte SS Adolf Hitler. Skorzeny's reputation was cemented with the daring rescue of Italian dictator Benito Mussolini from his mountain prison in Gran Sasso in September 1943. The operation, officially known as Unternehmen Eiche, Operation Oak, was a masterclass in airborne assault tactics and meticulous planning. Skorzeny and his team used gliders to reach the mountaintop hotel, a feat many thought impossible, and successfully spirited Mussolini away without firing a shot. This operation brought him international fame and the admiration of Adolf Hitler, who awarded him the Knight's Cross of the Iron Cross for his efforts. Dubbed the most dangerous man in Europe by Allied forces, Skorzeny's actions during the Ardennes offensive further showcased his innovative approach to warfare. He orchestrated Operation Greif, a mission where German soldiers dressed in American uniforms and using captured Allied vehicles infiltrated enemy lines to cause confusion and disarray among the Allies. After the war, Skorzeny escaped from a POW camp and led a fugitive life across Europe and South America. His involvement in various post-war organizations included alleged ties to Odessa, a supposed network of former SS members. He worked as a military advisor to the Egyptian government and was rumored to have been involved with several espionage activities for different countries. Skorzeny passed away from lung cancer on July 5, 1975 in Madrid. Throughout his life, he never turned his back on Nazism. His funerals, held in both Madrid and Vienna, drew a crowd of former SS comrades. These attendees openly performed the Hitler salute and sang some of Hitler's favorite songs. Paul Blobel. Paul Blobel played a pivotal role in the systematic extermination of Jews during World War II as a high-ranking officer in the SS. Blobel initially trained as an architect, joined the Nazi Party in 1931, and subsequently the SA and the SS, rising to the rank of SS-Standartenführer. Blobel is perhaps most infamously known for his command of Einsatzkommando 4A, a subunit of Einsatzgruppe C, which operated primarily in Ukraine following the German invasion of the Soviet Union in 1941. The Einsatzgruppen were paramilitary death squads. These units, composed primarily of SS and police personnel, were responsible for mass killings, primarily by shooting. Operating mainly in occupied Eastern Europe, the Einsatzgruppen followed the German army's advances. Their actions are considered some of the most horrific and systematic atrocities of the Holocaust. Under Blobel's leadership, Einsatzkommando 4A conducted mass shootings targeting Jewish populations, Soviet commissars, Romani people, and others deemed undesirable by the Nazi regime. The most horrific of these massacres took place at Babi Yar, a ravine near Kyiv, where over 33,000 Jews were killed over 2 days in September 1941. Blobel's efficiency in carrying out these mass executions earned him the chilling reputation of being one of the most effective killers in the Nazi apparatus. As the war progressed, Blobel's role evolved, but his involvement in genocidal activities remained central. In June of 1942, Heinrich Müller secretly tasked Blobel with leading the ominous Sonderaktion 1005, a gruesome mission aimed at exhuming and burning the bodies of those killed by the Einsatzgruppen to obliterate evidence of the mass murders. This operation stretched across Eastern Europe and sought to cover up the horrible crimes committed by the Nazis. After the war, Blobel was tried and convicted by the US military tribunal in Nuremberg at the Einsatzgruppen trial. He was found responsible for at least 59,018 murders, though he claimed a lower figure of 10 to 15,000. Blobel showed no remorse and claimed he was simply following orders. He was sentenced to death by hanging and was hanged at the Landsberg prison on June 7, 1951. Odilo Globocnik. Globocnik's rise through the ranks of the Nazi Party and the SS placed him among Heinrich Himmler's most feared inner circle. Globocnik's journey began when he joined the Nazi Party in 1931, and by 1934 he had become the Gauleiter, a regional party leader, of Vienna. Though his early political career was tainted by corruption, Globocnik was relieved of his position on January 30, 1939, after it was discovered that he had been involved in illegal foreign currency speculation. Consequently, Himmler demoted Globocnik to the Waffen-SS as a junior sergeant, where he found himself thrown into the thick of the Polish campaign. Despite this setback, Himmler appreciated Globocnik's potential and talent. By late 1939, Himmler chose to pardon Globocnik, recognizing his importance, promoting him to the rank of SS Brigadeführer, and assigned to the Lublin district in occupied Poland. In Lublin, Globocnik's infamous reputation peaked. Tasked with executing Operation Reinhard, the Nazi plan to annihilate Poland's Jewish population, he oversaw the construction and operation of some of the Holocaust's most notorious extermination camps, including Belzec, Sobibor, and Treblinka. Beyond Operation Reinhard, Globocnik played a pivotal role in broader SS initiatives involving forced labor and the ruthless exploitation of occupied territories. He was instrumental in suppressing resistance movements and implementing policies that economically plundered Nazi-controlled regions, exacerbating the suffering and death of countless individuals. Globocnik's career ended abruptly with the collapse of the Third Reich. As Allied forces closed in, he fled to Austria, only to be captured by British troops. On May 31, 1945, before facing justice for his horrific crimes, Globocnik committed suicide with a cyanide capsule, evading the accountability he so richly deserved. Well, that's it. We hope you enjoyed our video. If so, be sure to march on over to the subscribe button and join our History Battalion. Don't forget to like and hit the notification bell to stay updated on more World War II content. See you next time.